We talk all things personal empowerment, all things spiritual development, and everything in between. A place where we recognize that the power is in our hands to create the lives that we desire, and that everything we seek is actually within us. So whether you're peeking around the corner with curiosity, or you're sitting in the thick of it with your own spiritual development, I have a feeling there's something here for you. So grab your notebooks, people, and let's get to it. Hi, my name is Dana Sardano, and this is the Ubuntu Room. I am so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. For those of you who are new to who I am and what I do, the Ubuntu Room is a place where we talk all things personal empowerment, all things spiritual development, and everything that falls in between. And for those of you who have been following along, we've been focusing heavy on the personal empowerment part because in order for us to expand and to enjoy the mystical, magical, and woo, we have to build a foundation first, and that's what we've been doing. But moving forward, we are going to dabble in the magic a little bit. For those of you, again, who are following along, I also do a segment on the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Shout out to the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Talking about the 10 Recs, the 10 Recs trilogy. So we talked about in the book club, 10 Recommandments for Personal Empowerment, the foundation. And next week, July 1st, we are going to start talking about Beyond the 10, Decoding the Woo Woo, and really getting into the magic. I bring this up because in Beyond the 10, Decoding the Woo Woo, I talk about a lot of the words that come up when we find ourselves on a spiritual journey, whether it's intentional or not. And people talk about alignment, manifestation, and resonance and dissonance and all leveling up, and all the words that I am very irreverent about, but I break it down. And one of the words that comes up is synchronicities. And when you find yourself on the path that's really in line with your soul's purpose, you know, you slay your dragons, you put the toxic stuff to rest, and you find yourself on this path of purpose, all of a sudden, the opportunities show up. The path opens. Just the experiences are more in line with this new version of yourself. But one of the things that happens is the right people show up, the people that match this new version of you. I call them, in the book, I call them the unicorns. All of a sudden, that you meet these people that are of this new mindset, this new awareness, this giftedness. They're matching your frequency. Now, they're all different. Each unicorn has its own bag of tricks, but they're matching where you're at, and it's always at the right place and the right time. I bring this up because today I am here with the two most magical of magical unicorns that I know. My dear friend, Ann Marie Scorty, and my dear friend, oh my God, Wendy Bee. They came into my life when I was in like full court press spiritual awakening. Like I was on like the other side of like a lot of the heavy lifting and following my path to be an artist, to be a creative, to live my life with purpose. And boom, they both showed up at around the same time, both with interesting stories. And so today we are going to have a conversation of what that was like for us, our own journeys, our meeting each other, our expanding together, and then we're going to dabble in our giftedness a little bit. So I want to open with a little introduction of each of them, because I can never underestimate the power of who they are as humans. Ann Marie, again, came to me by happenstance, I always say. I met her on the internet, and it turned out she lived about 4 blocks from me. Craziness. And together we created a deck of cards together, Soul Traveler Cards of Empowerment. Together we opened a gallery. Together we even published some books of hers. She's got a few in the hopper, and we'll talk about that too. But some books of hers that she has written about her experience. She is the coolest, the funniest, the chillest, but she's also extremely gifted. She's a trance channel. And if you don't know what that is, It means she's got the ability to put her consciousness aside and channel other consciousnesses, other energies through the higher realms. I've seen her channel angels. I've seen her channel spirit guides. I've seen her channel the moon, temperance, my dog Tallulah. I've seen her channel all of it, and it's pretty incredible. She also activates through her voice, through her hands, for dormant DNA that is just waiting to be activated. She also clears spaces with her partner Carol. She really is pretty incredible. And then there's Miss Wendy Becerra. Wendy I refer to as dinner at a show, because not only is she extremely gifted, but she's hilarious and she's fun to watch. Wendy has been at this forever. She's written blogs, she's taught workshops, she's done the whole spiritual, the circuit, and you know, when you go like the art, the festivals, lots of words there. She has done all of the things, and her main mission is to take all the modalities that she's picked up along the way, the crystals, the natural remedies, the spirit messages, her clairvoyance, her clairaudience, all of it to assist people in their growth and development. And she's pretty incredible. She refers to herself as the Swiss Army knife of healers. It's pretty great. So the two of them happen to be very dear friends of mine, and they have been such an integral part in my growth and my development. And I love them dearly. And you'll see on the screens behind us, we are the Woo Crew. So with that said, I want to speak to you, Wendy, first. Mm-hmm. You know, when I talk about Ann Marie, I'm always like, she's a trans channel and she channels these energies. And when I talk about you more broadly, but we're not all just one thing, but you channel too.
Yeah.
And when I met you weren't really doing a lot of channeling. That's something that like evolved.
Yes, it did.
So I want to know more about that, because I never really asked you about that. Like, how did that happen?
So, you know, when we talk about activations, I showed up for the beginning of my gifts. And
what do you mean you showed up for the beginning of your gifts?
So for the longest time, I knew I had specialness because I read it in other things.
Yeah.
I read about the crystals and all of these different mystery things. And it always was apparent to me. I reached out for crystals for my grandmom and all of these different things, all of these different elements. And I ended up working at a spiritual store and got to really dive deeper and pull into my gifts that way. And then one of those things was my Reiki attunement. And during Reiki attunements and different things, different experiences I had continued to unlock those things. So having my Reiki attunement, when I finally got to the retreat where you were at, I was able to do that, offer what I had, and then separately from there, that unlocked different people, meeting Carol, meeting Ann Marie, meeting you, did a session for you, and the grandmas showed up.
I was hoping that would come up. So just to give everybody a little bit of backstory, I ran a retreat called the Ubuntu Wellness Retreat on my property for artists and intuitives to come together and, whatever, just
and do our magical thing.
And in doing that, that's where I picked up, right before that I picked up the Ann Marie, and that's where I picked up the Wendy, and then we all came together there. But Wendy, as a gift to me, offered me free Reiki sessions. And I'm like, but I'm going to do it because I don't want her to feel bad. Like, that's kind of how I approached it. And when I got to your house and you did it, I think the Wonder Twins Activate sort of vibe between us, yes, that leveled you up as well. And that yes, was the activate. And all of a sudden, everybody, there was an Indian there, or Native yes, American, forgive me, Native yes, American, and then the grandmas, and I was like, what just happened? You're like, I don't know.
Yeah, everybody just came in. Everybody just started coming in. I guess that what happened was you came in with your openness. I met you with my openness, and the channel literally the doors blew right open.
Yeah.
So right then was the how do I say, the triage came in to kind of sweep up and do their little, zhuzhing, as one would say, their zhuzhing up of things. And it just, for me, it was mind-boggling because I had certain openings and watched things open, and then this thing just really opened wide. And from there, the grandmas gave you your stuff. So I'll take a little step back. When I do my sessions, I often thank the beings and the people who are there for being there to assist in the session, both for my client as well as for myself. And I end up with, thank you for the healing we both received here today. And I tell you that literally was them answering that statement, because I'd made that statement in so many other sessions. And this was the first time where it's like, oh yeah, you really don't know what that means. Here, let us show you what that is. And then from there, it just kicked off. So the channeling came in as I was hearing these messages outwardly. And then it became that, my concern was always like, I don't want to be possessed. I've seen possessions, I've seen them outwards, and I never consented to that. And Spirit said, you don't have to. We can come in and buzz it in your ears, and sometimes they get so close that I can feel their beingness, and I oftentimes take on their mannerisms.
Yeah.
So that's how close it is, but they will never fully take control. So it's like a mutual understanding that we meet here at this place where I can communicate for them, and that just took it over to a whole new level.
Yeah, and I've seen it become more streamlined. Like I've seen you used to be like, they said or Spirit said, and then every once in a while when you're in the zone, when you get all you get in the zone, you allow it to come through. And I just want to shift over to Ann Marie for a second, because you said it, Wendy, you're like, I don't ever want to be possessed.
Yeah.
And you talk about how you're able to put your consciousness aside.
I'd give them free reign. I don't have any what's that word, resistance to it.
Yes.
So I am the tool, literally. So they do possess me. I mean, if you want to talk about possession, it's of the benevolent energies.
Yes.
However, that's exactly what they do, because I let them come on in and do their work. I don't try to control. I don't put up any guidelines, other than the fact that obviously the only people working with me are the good guys, right?
Yeah.
And that has been established, and I am protected 100%. So, that's why we're in a business of blind faith. So if you don't trust who you're working with, you can't do what Wendy and I do. You cannot.
100%.
Yes.
So, I trust them completely, and I just let them do their thing, however it presents,
I was actually going to say that about your level of trust, because you trust that you are channeling only through the highest realms, like your people are protecting you. And because of that, my trust level for what you do, I'm like, okay. All right, they're like, yeah, go outside and dig a hole. I'm like, all right, no problem. But I will tell you, and I'm sure you both could attest to this, and I want to hear what you have to say about this. It's easy to have fear. Like anybody listening or watching, right, or watching can have fear of what this is, because you don't know who you're bringing through. But if what's coming through is just good advice, it's just beneficial to your life, then it's hard to doubt what it is. And I just want to tap you in, Ann Marie, because I remember, I've read it in the books that you've written, in the conversations. You were like, at first it was all so crazy for you, but then you started following their messages.
I followed their messages from the get, because it was beneficial.
That's my point.
Yeah, no, everything from the very beginning, it was, why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It was very clear to me that these beings, whatever was going on, which I had no idea, but whatever was happening was beneficial, because they were giving me, advice that, of course, I was following, because I figured, why am I hearing this if it's not for me, right?
Right.
And so why wouldn't I follow it? That's stupid. But as I did, I could see the difference in my life, right? Like they were guiding me to become more happy, more fulfilled, more all of that stuff, letting go of all the crap that was holding me back. And as I followed all of their guidance, obviously things were becoming better, things were shifting, avenues were opening, and I just, was discovering all kinds of new stuff that, I never would have, I can't say I never would have found it, but probably not, because that's how it came through. You know what I'm saying?
What I love about you, Ann Marie, is you're quite the anomaly. Wendy and I are very similar in that we both always had whatever our inclinations were. And as we did the work on ourselves, I always thought, that's what I build everything on, build your foundation, and then, you'll expand. And there's that expansion because of it. And you kind of reverse engineered the whole thing. Like, you followed the advice, you found this gift, and then started doing the work, correct?
Yeah. I was not introspective at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah, free spirit.
They had to come at
the
me.
back door. I love it.
I wasn't going to think about anything. I was forced until, yeah.
I love it. I love it. And and the both of you, I mean, we could zone in on, you're a trans channel, and zone in on, you're the Swiss Army knife. But we all have, and I have like my own stuff, even though it's, I wouldn't call myself a unicorn. I'd have to tape my horn and tape the tail. But we all have our stuff. But like, Wendy, what is your favorite thing? Like, what do you think your like greatest gifted strength is? And what's your favorite thing to do?
Wow, that's a pretty big question. I like it. Yeah, I tell you. I think that for me, what lights me up is the same thing that a teacher, when they're teaching a student, the lights coming on the other person's eyes. For me, when I hear, oh my God, thank you for that, I didn't think of that, or the lights come on, like, it's almost like I'm giving people keys to their own being so that they can reflect back and become empowered. And oftentimes, by the end of the session, they've already settled down. A day or two later, they get a chance to reflect, and they'll ask deeper questions, or I'll touch base with them in a few days later, and they're just like, oh my gosh, I've had so many things. So for me, I think it's the meeting the people and then hearing what has happened in them, what has come out of that. So it makes me know that I am in line with my purpose. Yeah. And I think that that's my favorite thing of it all.
Yeah. Your gift of compassion is off the charts.
Appreciate
and
that.
I'm just going to bring it just another step, because that is your favorite thing. But I know that of your gifts, your clairaudience and your clairvoyance are probably two of your strongest.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And just to be clear, clairaudience is clear hearing. It's like when you hear messages in a variety of different ways. And clairvoyance is you see visuals, whether it be in dreams or, in your mind's eye. And I've heard you talk about how it's like seeing a projector. Of those things, what would you say your favorite way to receive message?
Oh my gosh. I love hearing. I love hearing. I love feeling, because I feel them too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
true.
And I to say that one's favorite, no, I think I love them all in tandem. I love to use them. And I've got to tell you, to bring in Anne Marie and Carol, one of the things that I've said repeatedly is, when we all got to meet in my home and I was able to see and project, and then Carol jumped in and she's like, yeah, and the being looks like this, and then you were able, it's like a validation that, number one, I'm not nuts. Yeah. Number two, that other people are experiencing it, and they're experiencing it on top of another level. So again, it's that building. And then so it becomes difficult to say, I don't believe this. Yeah. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. And I just have to jump in for a second. We are not, whoever the powers that be, we are not going to take a break. I just glanced at the clock. I'm like, oh my God, we got stuff to do. So we're not going to take a break, but I do want to shift gears a little bit.
Yep.
I want to get right to it, because I want to see a little bit of what you guys do. The magic. I know that of all the stuff that you guys do, Anne Marie, I know, again, you channel all consciousnesses, but you've channeled animals. For me, when I first learned that you could do this, I keep touching my mic. It's probably, but when I first learned that you could do this, I mean, I was relentless. I was like, channel unicorns, channel my rabbit, channel my fish, channel my dog. It was so incredible to me. And Wendy, one of your gifts is you are very much in touch with spirit animals. And so I was wondering if you guys could, follow my lead. We could have a little fun today.
Sure.
I love to collaborate. So that's,
yay!
it's super fun. Like
what
Wendy was saying,
activate.
what Wendy was saying, when you work with someone that you trust, and I won't work with many people, Wendy being one of them, but it's so cool, because you combined your abilities, and everything just comes together into this weird, quirky, cauldron of collective understanding, and everybody's getting the same thing, and it's super cool.
It's really cool. It's cool listening to the audios of you clearing spaces with Carol and how she's seeing and you're coming in and it's really, really cool. But back to the spirit animals. Wendy, I know that over the years you have picked out my spirit animals. and they've changed as I change, right? So I want to hear a little bit about what the spirit animal medicine is, and then I want you to tell me what mine is right now, and then I was hoping you could channel the energy of that animal. You guys down with that?
That's totally cool.
All right.
So first off, I'm going to start off by what your animal is at this very moment.
Okay.
There's a giraffe in the building.
Still?
Yes.
Okay, the giraffe's been
It
hanging
has
with
not-
me for a little bit.
The
Okay.
giraffe has purpose. So what I mean by spirit animal medicine is that when I am speaking with somebody, I will usually get the feeling or a sensation or even an image of an animal. And that animal will go with people either most of their life or for chapters in their life. And what that means is each animal comes with a certain empowerment or ability. And in the case of the giraffe, and you can piggyback on that, but for me the giraffe is a higher vantage but a grounded space. So if you think about the animal of the giraffe, 4 legs on the ground, they only are land animals, so there's no water involved, which brings in a whole nother set of circumstances or whatnot. But in the most case, with the giraffe, it's this higher vantage point. It's being able to see with big eyes and being attuned and being nurturing to a certain extent. It's all of those things. So how I experience is if I'm speaking to somebody and an animal wants to step up to kind of assist them, whether it's empowering in one way or like a comforting message. So I will get an animal that is their companion. At times it's a panther. It could be all different things. But in your case, the giraffe is standing tall with you right now.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you mind channeling the energy of the giraffe?
I can channel the energy. It's funny though, because Wendy has described me to a T, and also what I would like to express as well. This is about growth and extension and moving through and above and seeing with complete and utter clarity what is not only at eye level but below. The vantage point, as Wendy says, is exactly what is coming forward for you at this time. When you are at ground level, you do not quite have the ability to see and understand what your purpose is entirely. But as you allow yourself to expand and grow to a new level of understanding of self, you are able to understand the impact you have on others around you through your own sense of sight and sensitivities, which are part of your entirety. This is the capability that comes through growth, expansion, and a higher perspective.
Thank you, giraffe spirit animal. That was really cool. And the fact that you guys do that together,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
I love it.
Did you have something else? Or is it
No. I was just kind of surprised at the feeling.
Yes.
There's an elegance.
I was very surprised at the feeling that I'm going to say it's a she.
She felt like a she.
Yes.
And the way she expressed herself was not what I would have expected. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was really, really cool.
Yeah.
We have just a few minutes left, and I'm going to do something very self-indulgent right now. And
It's your birthday.
it's my birthday, so we're going to be self-indulgent. But, Katinka, I have a kitty. She's feral, or I adopted her. She's about 9 months old. I adopted her feral. And she is really come a long way. But in the last month, I've had to put her in carrier, take her to the vet. She's got to give her medication. Then we have construction in the house, move out of the house. There's been a lot of upheaval. So I feel like with every 3 steps forward, we take 2 steps back. Does she have any kind of advice or message or just love for her mommy?
Katinka.
Katinka.
There's so much going on all the time. Why is there so much all the time? It's unnerving. It's unnerving. Sometimes I just don't know where is safe for me. I need more safety, more safety, more safety. We are here. We are here. We are going to work with her now. She is of an understanding of chaos. We are lifting her, lifting her, lifting her, lifting her into another space, another time where she had a greater sense of her own control, letting her feel that, allowing her to absorb what must be understood is her capacity to rise above. She has left her physical self in this moment, absorbing an energetic self, bringing it back into this time-space continuum, embodying this energy within, absorbing, embodying, allowing, accepting. With the animals, the resistance is minimal. Not so with humans. It will be done, it will be done, it will be done.
Goodness. Thank you. Thank you. You guys see the clock. I have to thank you both. I hate to end on this note, you guys. I love you both so much. My unicorns. I can't stress enough.
Yeah.
Find your people. People. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Please check out the Ubuntu Room on the Brooklyn Cafe show where we do the Decoding the Woo Woo book club. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you for being here. And as always, Ubuntu. Thank you for tuning in to the Ubuntu Room. And more importantly, for taking another step toward a better you. See you next time. And don't forget your notebook.